So my latest project is now working on this 06 325i Beamer. A couple months ago I had the starter died on this thing, and for those of you that aren't aware of where the starter is, I mean, I'll show you, which is kind of worthless because you can't see it, but anyway, the starter on this car is buried way down below this intake manifold, way down here. Not even a hope of seeing it. To get this starter out, you know, the whole process, there's a whole nother air intake piece that goes right here that's I've already removed, and I'll tell you why here in a second. You got to take both of these cross braces off, and what I didn't know is that there's an upper bolt up here that this piece pops out, and then you take another bolt out of there. It's an external Torx bit, or a bolt, very similar to the one on the other end, only bigger up there. With this intake manifold, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts that hold it on, and you got to take the power steering reservoir out, all the air box and throttle body plenums out of the way, and then this thing is supposed to come out, but I couldn't. I just moved it over to the side, and then the starter, you can access the starter down there, which is very simple. Once you can actually get to it, when you change the starter out, it's mounted with aluminum bolts, which you have to replace when you replace the starter. The aluminum bolts are one-time use only. So the reason why I am taking this all apart again, not the intake, but all this upper part, is when I put everything back together from putting the starter in there, these two metal struts, as I mentioned, this thing just pops right out, and then you have another external Torx bolt there. When I was putting these back together, these both slide in through this hole here, and then they mount inside there, and then I don't know if you can see it, right back in here is the windshield washer tube. And when I put it back together, apparently I pinched the tube as I was tightening this bolt down, and so the windshield washer fluid just floods this inside cavity here. So I've got to take now this plastic piece off to get to that tube, because there's no other way to get to it. You can see here I've capped off this part. I just capped it off, so I would have spray coming up out of at least this side here to clean the windshield. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, you can get in there and take that off and just replace it without taking this thing off? No, you can't. There's not enough room, and it's zip tied 4 times. In this stretch, there's 4 different zip ties on it. So what I wanted to show you is, in order to get this off, you have to take the windshield wiper arms off. And this one I've already just got loose. See, it's loose on the stud there. This one here, I had to get a 2-jaw puller from, actually I just rented this out from O'Reilly's. It had a 3rd jaw on it that I took off here, and then just, you can see where if all 3 jaws are mounted, they'll be on here. I took these 2 off, and then I took this one and just mounted it here. So I got my 2-jaw, and then all you do is you just, you know, let me open this up a bit. You just center it. You get the jaws hooked under the wiper arm, and then you center that middle stud, or bolt on the stud for the wiper arm, just like so. Okay, and then you take a socket and ratchet. I'm trying to do this and hold the camera at the same time. You just fit it on top of here, and it doesn't take very many cranks before you'll hear it pop. That wasn't it. That was it. They pop right off with some force. And that's how you get them off. Alright, so after you get the wiper arms off, and I'm sure you're supposed to mark them and, you know, all kinds of stuff and index them. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. I took a picture of them. I think it's going to be fairly self-explanatory just to line the wipers up with the dirty and clean marks there on the windshield. You can kind of see what I'm talking about there. I mean, I don't want to overthink this thing. A lot of guys obsess about, you know, everything's got to be perfect on these German cars. I mean, it's just a car. So you get those off, and now the only thing holding you back is you got to take this tube off, which feeds all the tubes inside this piece, and it should just come right off here. Just like so. Get that out of the way. Okay, next step, according to the Bentley manual, is to take this rubber seal off. And it's not like glued on here or anything, just kind of a press fit, really. Okay, for this next part, you gotta release the seal on this thing. It's whatever this window cowling cover is here, and you can see this part here, I've already got it started to come up when you first start working on it. It's gonna be, you know, pretty tight. You can see on this side I haven't got to yet. This is about all you can get up on it, and you need to have something you can shove down here to get down to where it's sealing down here to break that seal loose, and so it can start coming up. And of course you don't want to damage the windshield doing it. Bentley manual is pretty vague. It says use a plastic prying tool, you know, and it shows this thing pried up, and a plastic prying tool way down there, you know, to get it up. But what I've been using, it's working pretty good. Old handy wooden ruler. So you just work your way all the way around this seal, all the way over to that side, and eventually everything will let go and it'll be loose, just like this. And you know, prying from the bottom up here, I haven't got it all the way off yet. You can see that's where that the thing will focus. That's where that external Torx bolt is. Yeah, that guy right there holds both of these strut bars down, and when I put it together, it chewed through. Here's the windshield washer tube here, and on the other side of this crazy thing, of course, why would I be able to show you? Well, trust me, it's chewed all the way through there. You can see it. I guess I did that with the socket, or possibly the lip of this bolt. You know, very close quarters when it comes together, and that's what happens. But you can see here, there's one zip tie, there's another zip tie, and actually might have already taken one off. But there you see one of the clips I had loose from trying to work it through this hole. Impossible, you know, to do this right. You can see my fix here. I just cut the rubber tube and stuck the end of a pin in here and zip tied it.